Alright, so now that I just recorded this entire video, and it wasn't working, because YouTube is stupid, basically. So, yeah, this is basically my coming out video. Yeah, so, basically, I've told this previous times before, several times before on here, not only on this channel, but just on other channels as well. So, yeah, I'm going to try and go a little bit more in detail on it this time. So, first of all, I'd like to say, I was watching Brian's video, his coming out video, and we have a lot of shit in common, man, like a lot. It's kind of weird. Yeah. To put it simply, my life is basically an exact replica of his. So yeah. Except for a couple things are a little different. So first of all, in November, on the 16th, 1996, a little baby was born. Okay, and the doctor said that it was a girl. By looking at its private parts. It's really not a girl. It really wasn't a girl, and it never has been a girl. So yeah. Let's see here. I was only like a couple years old, I think, when my parents got a divorce. They separated. I moved with my mom 4 hours from my dad, and I would visit him every other weekend, and that would be it. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with boy stuff. I liked boy toys. I hated Barbies. I got guy clothes. That's all I wore. My grandma would spoil me, and she would give me anything I wanted. It was a bunch of guy clothes, basically. Basketballs, footballs, baseballs. I was a sport freak, basically. Still kind of am. Only a lot lazier of a sport freak. Now I don't really play them. I just watch them. Hopefully I'll start getting back into playing them soon, though. Maybe that'll be another thing I'll try and do this summer, because I really need to get in shape. So yeah. When I'm gonna kind of skip the bad parts, try to skip them. Well, let's see here. First of all, I have no contact with my dad anymore. I'm okay with it. I don't really love him. I've told him I hated his guts and I never wanted to see his face again. Among other things, he abused me physically and emotionally. He was an alcoholic. He still is, and he has anger problems. Always has, always will. And it's a good thing that I don't talk to him anymore, because when I was talking to him, I also had extremely bad anger problems. I cut my sister with a fillet knife several times, stabbed her in the eye with a pencil, chased her around with baseball bats, scissors. I was a very, very angry kid. I am nothing like that now. Actually, last year I was going to school in Kansas, and I had a kid ask me if I smoked pot every day before and during school, because I was always really calm. I was like, no, I just am a calm person now. So that's kind of showing you how calm of a person I am. No matter what the situation, I'm very calm. So yeah, that can be a good and a bad thing at times. So yeah. I already talked about this on my Facebook account recently. Well, let's go ahead and jump on it. So when I was probably 12 or 13, I believe I started Well, I knew something was weird about me because I was still a tomboy, and usually at that stage is when girls kind of tend to be more girly and start getting into the whole pink and purple shit, stuff like that. Or at least that's what I've seen so far. And yeah, so I knew something was wrong, and I knew I was attracted to girls. At the time, I was still trying to act like I was a straight girl, even though I knew I wasn't. For the longest time, I had tried to tell myself that I was bi, even though I wasn't. I'm still not attracted to guys. I've always been attracted to girls. I kind of just told myself that to kind of feel more comfortable. Because I know being trans is not normal. I don't care how much we want to say it is. It's not normal, but we should be treated normal. Being treated normal and being normal is completely different. So yeah, I just want to put that out there now. Where am I? Yeah, so I made this Facebook account. I had pictures of one guy on there, and I was pretending to be him the whole time. The account was under Braden Moore. When I had really started getting deep into it, at least before, it was kind of jumping back and forth between names, just kind of screwing around, being an idiot. The whole time I was being an idiot for pretending to be someone I wasn't anyways. But yeah, and I had made several other accounts to kind of be associated with this one person, the one main fake account basically, to make it seem more realistic, so people would believe me. And I had made the account to talk to girls, basically. I was very stupid at the time. Just because I would never have the courage to do that, like, where I lived, or even where I live now. So, yeah. So I made the account and started acting fake, basically. Simple as that. Like I said, the name was Braden Moore. I think I said that. And I ended up getting a little too deep into the situation. It was basically a whole catfish thing going on. Well, first I started talking to a couple girls, and eventually, like, the third girl, and I think, I'm pretty sure she was the third major girl, and, she's the only one that actually matters. She's the only girl that has ever really mattered in my life. She still comes above family and anyone else, so, yeah. She means a lot to me, even if we don't talk too much anymore. Basically, I really ended up screwing her over. I talked to her for 4 straight years, dated off and on, and not only was it bad enough that I was acting as someone I wasn't, I also, every time I broke up with her, I would end up going to a different one of her friends every time, and it was kind of complicated, which that kind of ended certain relationships with friends she had. That wasn't the main cause of them, so I don't feel completely terrible about that, but I was a major role in that. They are still no longer friends, so yeah, I do feel bad about that. Basically, kind of screwed her over, because we kind of both fell for each other. And when I did tell her the truth, she couldn't really deal with it. She is LGBT friendly. It's more or less the fact that I lied to her for 4 years that kind of stopped everything. I would say now I definitely regret it, but at the same time I wish I wouldn't have told her the truth, because if I didn't tell her the truth, maybe we'd still be talking, and she wouldn't be dating the guy she's dating. She'd probably be dating me, at least hopefully. There's a very good chance that she would be, so it's kind of a little heartbreaking. So yeah, there's that. On top of that, I told her in like August that I was fake, and then I gave her another fake name. I didn't actually pretend to be that person because I stopped talking to her after that, but she wanted to know my real name, so I told her a fake name, because at the same time, a lot of other people she had talked to, I had talked to, and I didn't want her to tell them, and then that get brought back to me, because the pictures I was using was of a guy that I went to school with, and he was really popular, and I did not want that situation to be complicated. So yeah, after that, in about October, November, I told her I was trans. I told her to go ahead and call me Brayden, which was how my original name came about. And then I ended up letting her pick between Dustin or Luke as my name now, because I kind of wanted to put the past behind me, but now I'm starting to feel like Dustin doesn't really fit me, so I don't know. I'm trying to kind of feel like decide what name actually fits me and what I feel I should be called. So that, and probably I feel like the worst thing about it is, one, she told me that if I would have told her to begin with that I was trans and my real name and blah blah blah, it would have been a lot different, and she'd probably still be talking to me. And on top of that, her and her current boyfriend started dating right about my birthday. So that, oh, I hate him so much. He has completely screwed her over, and she's still with him. So he's cheated on her multiple times, which I never did. But I mean, he's still the better person for not lying. Well, he did lie to her, and he still is lying to her. But yeah, that's none of the internet's business. That's just what I know. So yeah, that, and one of the positive things that I got out of that was realizing, I'm not just a tomboy, I'm not just a lesbian, I'm not bisexual, I am a straight guy. I was just born in the wrong body. Simple as that. That's basically a simple wording of it, not so much the actual situation. So that was like my major coming out to myself time period. Again, like my whole life I've been like a little boy, basically. So that was just kind of the breaking point, actually realizing it. And then November, right around my birthday, I came out to my family, just my immediate family. I'm not out to anyone else. I'm sure they've told basically the rest of my family. I don't really care, or I don't know. Basically the way I came out to them was a lot different than just telling them straight on like I told her. I was auditioning for a collab channel on YouTube, trying to get more involved in the LGBT community, and I was uploading a video. Where I live now, I don't have my own room. I'm sleeping on the couch. Kind of a complicated situation. I do not have my own computer here. My computer's in storage, so I'm working up to get a laptop. Yeah. Simple story. Basically, I fell asleep with the laptop still up and the video still up, and I woke up the next morning and they had watched it. It was very, very blunt. I actually mentioned in the video, and I quote, I said, I like pussy. And I yelled it at the computer, basically. So, and I had started off the video saying, like, a different name. I said my name was Brayden because that's what I was going by at the time. So that was kind of a key factor. And then I said I was trans, and then told him I like girls, basically, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's basically how I found out. And later that day, me and my sister ended up talking, and I've talked to her more about it than I have my mom. I feel more comfortable talking to her about it than I do my mom. But we have all talked about it, so yeah. My sister, the only really way like she can kind of try to understand it is by comparing me to a lesbian, which I've told her several times I'm not a lesbian, I'm just a straight guy. And I've kind of gotten to the point where I just let her compare me to that, because that's like the closest way she can get to understanding, since she's just a straight normal girl. So yeah. And we actually talked about it today too, about that's how she can try to understand easiest. So I just let her do that. There's really no other way I can change her mind, or help her understand better, because I've told her repeatedly that that's not how it really is. So there's that. I would say we haven't really gotten closer since coming out, but we haven't really gotten farther apart. It's just kind of there. We don't bring it up, but they're really not too accepting of it, I don't think. I mean, they're okay with it, but they wish I was different, basically. So there have been times when they've been kind of abusive, almost, in a way, about it. So yeah, that's that. I don't want to make this video too much longer because it's almost 20 minutes long. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. And in regards to my family and anyone else, I don't plan on coming out to them. I plan on just transitioning, and then they can just kind of take the obvious stuff and put it together. My family is a pretty religious family. They're religious, but they're like a different kind of religious. They're very religious, they believe in it, but they act a lot different than normal religious people. So yeah, that's about it. So that's what I'm gonna say, and goodbye. I'll talk to you guys August-ish, unless I get another video between now and then, which hopefully I will, but we'll see how that goes. So bye guys. Again, I'll talk to you in August.